From the roar of the crowd to the roar of the engines, this is Pit Pass.
Pit Pass is brought to you by Aaron's of State College on the Benner Pike, by W.R. Hickey Beer Distributor, celebrating 80 years, and by Pocono Raceway, the Tricky Triangle. Here are your hosts, Ron Fox and Jan Miller.
Hello and welcome to what will be our last Pit Pass show of the season.
Yes, and we are going out with a bang. On Saturday, we went to Roaring Knob Motorsports Complex, which we haven't been to in a couple years. Plus, we have action from a track that Pit Pass has never been to before, Erie Speedway.
And I had the honor of sitting down with Hall of Fame sprint car driver Keith Kaufman, who is hanging up his helmet after over 4 decades of racing.
Yes, and we have a little tidbit of news here. America's Motorsports Park will be having 358 modifieds in their upcoming race.
Just after our show aired last week, Heston Speedway announced that they have canceled the remainder of their 2013 season. Track owner Dave Erickson has been battling pancreatic cancer and has been undergoing treatments.
Our thoughts and prayers are with Dave Erickson that he be victorious in this battle.
Now, as Jan said earlier, we were at Roaring Knob Motorsports Complex on Saturday night. Starting off the evening was the Rush late models. Former E-Mod standout Louis Krashansky in the number 23 machine started on the pole position for the 20-lap feature. In a 3-wide battle for second, the Black 4 of Greg Lemley comes out ahead of Chad McClellan in the 119. McClellan looks under Lemley through 3 and 4, while they close on Krashansky as they complete the first lap. Early on, we had a battle of the number 2s. That's the K2 of John Over hugging the bottom of 3 and 4, with the D2 of Nolan Dalton riding the cushion. They were following the 99 Star of Rick Singleton, who was in 4th. Over had some problems in turn 2, opening the door for Dalton to take over 5th. Vince Massey Jr. slowed on the track to bring out a caution on lap 12. Krashansky pulls away from Lemley on the restart. McClellan tries to sneak under him in turn 2. As they race down the backstretch, it is still Lemley with the advantage. A caution for debris would again bunch the field on lap 16, but Louis Krashansky pulled away from Lemley and the rest of the field to take the Rush late model victory. That was his first crate late model victory at Roaring Knob and second in his career. McClellan, Over, and Singleton rounded out the top 5. In the super late models, Bob Gordon in the Black 31 and number 20 Sean Clore led the 19-car field to the green for their 25-lap event. Tim Senek in the S2 squeezes under Clore to move into the runner-up position. As they go through turns 3 and 4, Cody Hardesty in the white 53 works to the inside of Clore to take over the 3rd spot. For a couple of laps early in the race, Senek pressured Gordon for the lead by working to his inside, yet Gordon pulled away off of the turns. Then on lap 6, Senek pulls off the pass of Gordon, although Gordon hung with the leader. Hardesty and Gordon had a great battle for the 2nd spot, although they began to lose ground to Senek. Late in the race, Gordon would be joined by the M1 of Mel Minnick Jr. and 25 of Mason Ziegler in a race for 3rd place. But up front, Tim Senek went unchallenged in claiming the victory.
Congratulations on your win, Tim. Now, Gordon was running on the inside, and you were digging in really low. It looked like you might even try to pass him on the infield.
Yeah, that's kind of my line here. I can get down there in that bottom and get a run off a little bit lower than a lot of guys can here, and I just bid my time. I figured he'd slide up eventually, and Bob's a good racer, but I think our car's a little better, off on that bottom, and I just bid my time till he slid up and went by.
Now, you've said you've had some difficulty in the last month.
Yeah, by our standards, yes, absolutely. We were running, had an opportunity to win the big race up here at the Appalachia Speed Week race on a Monday night and broke a motor with about 6 laps to go and pretty much destroyed it. So by getting another motor, getting stuff put together, we've just struggled. We struggled with shocks, we struggled with engines, and bad luck. I mean, our fuel pool here has to be in the triple digits on average, which again tonight we pulled triple digits, but thankfully these guys, the car was good enough it didn't matter. But there's a lot of good racers here, and every night we come do the same thing. We race hard. We should have won a lot more than we did, but I think that's our 3rd win, I think, up here this year. Should have been about 5, but you take what you get.
Well, this win must really motivate you for the 20,000 to win next week.
Yeah, well, anytime you get to race with those guys, it motivates you. I mean, I enjoy the fall more than any time of year because the point stuff ends. We get out on the road and really get racing, and I enjoy racing with all those guys, the Lucas guys, the World Outlaw guys, and we're not afraid of any of them. They're good and they're hard to beat and they're hard to even make the races, but that's what it's all about.
Now, I believe that you've won an Elkins championship.
I don't really points race. I don't. It just seems like midway through the year, late in the year, we're up there in points at these tracks, and we all just get together and decide we might as well go ahead and shoot for it. And and here we're leading the points. And I'm not necessarily saying that if we get run up against a big race somewhere else, that I ain't going somewhere else. But I'd kind of like to win it while Rick's got the track here. I haven't won it since Rick's had it. I think I won it the year before he came here. But we'll see how it turns out.
So, Tim Senek cruises to the super late model win over Cody Hardesty, Mel Minnick Jr., Mason Ziegler, and Bob Gordon. Nick Kramer picked up the victory in the E-Mods. Bob Nelson took the checkers in the street stocks. Cody Coolflesh was victorious in the Chargers, and David Friend was the first across the line in the Roadrunners.
As you heard in my interview with Tim Senek, Roaring Knob is going to have a 20,000 to win super late model race on Labor Day, and that sounds like a great way to spend the holiday.
It certainly does. Now, coming up next here on Pit Pass, we will have an interview with Keith Kaufman. Keep it here.
If ever there were a sign pointing the way to perfect refreshment, it would point northward toward Canada. Labatt, fresh from Canada to W.R. Hickey. Enjoy full-flavored Labatt Blue in bottles or cans. Labatt Blue Light, the purity of the North brewed into every beer. Or try Labatt Blue Light Lime, a great-tasting light beer with a twist of lime. As always, let W.R. Hickey's Beer Runners bring your favorite Labatt beer out to your car. W.R. Hickey Beer Distributor, 1321 East College Avenue, State College.